So our final walkthrough in some of the menus included in your Lucidchart app on your iPad is the top menu. We wanted to go through those functions very quickly and explain what those do. We're going to start with the one on the far left, so we're on the very top, the dark gray row now. That button is kind of like your home screen button, so that will take you back when we push on it to our kind of home screen area that we've talked about quite a bit. We're going to go ahead and I put that file we were working on. It was in that Spanish 1 folder, so I'm going to pull that demo file back up. Click on Open. So as we wait for it to reopen, using that icon on the far left, that's orange, will get you back to your home screen area at any point in time. It is important to mention here as well that your Lucidchart saves automatically. You don't have to do any saving. It saves your work for you as you work. The icon next to it with the split screens, what that does is it allows you to add a new page to that chart. So if we wanted to add a second page, a clean page to that one file, this is where we would do that. So if I wanted to add that new page, I would touch up here on the top right where it says new page, and I could call this Demo 2. T-E-M-O, Demo 2. And so now we have two pages to our Lucidchart document. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the original one I was working on. And if I wanted to get to my second page again, I just use that icon up at the top with the 4 squares to look between the pages of my Lucidchart that I'm working on right now. Next to that is our undo and our redo buttons. And so what those two do is if I want to undo my last action, I simply click on that undo, and that will undo what I had just previously done. That forward arrow will redo that action. So you can see that it's undoing and redoing that creation of that page. Next to those icons is our trash can with the X on it, and what that icon does is it deletes a selected item. So if, for example, I wanted to delete this sticky note that we have on our Lucidchart, I would simply touch it to ensure that it has that blue highlight around it so that we know it's selected, and you can see that the trash can then lights up. So I know that I can now click on the trash can to delete that object. If I wanted to undo the delete, I can simply use the undo key next to it and my sticky note comes back. Redo, and we'll delete it. Over on the far right, these are our last few options that we're going to talk to. That square with the arrow pushing out is a universal symbol more or less on an iPad of a way to push things out of the current app that they're in to someplace else. So this is the way that you get your Lucidchart off of your iPad. So when I click on that box, you're going to see that you have a couple of options. You can either export it as a PDF or as a PNG file, and then it will email you that file to the email address that you have entered in Lucidchart that you used to sign in with. So remember, I logged in using my Google Apps account, so that's my Google Apps address that's there. So you can either export as a PNG, which is an image file, or as a PDF, which is that printable document format file. So you can choose one of those two options to export when you're ready to send it out of your iPad into other places. It is important to note that those are not editable formats, that you can't actually edit those. Those are just printable or viewable forms of your Lucidchart. Next to that icon, we have the little question mark. This is a really handy area. This is our help button. You can use this anytime that you've forgotten how to do something. So there's a lot of basic information here, how to add shapes, how to size and rescale, draw lines, edit text, a lot of the things we've talked through in the other videos. There's that quick help built into Lucidchart, so if you ever need any additional help while you're working, you can simply touch on the question mark. That I stands for your inspector. What the inspector does, this is an area where you can change the options that are in your Lucidchart. So you can look at the different size and units that you have on there. You can change your page size, you can change your margins, you can change your content size. The background does the same thing for your background options. So this is an area if you're looking to change the background of your Lucidchart, I can turn it to this light yellow instead of the white. This is where you're going to find some more of your more advanced things. So grids and snapping you can change. You can create master pages, the document color theme you can change there, as well as using the button in the last video we talked about. So that's our inspector. It contains some more of the advanced options. And then the shapes menu is the one next to the edit pencil. So we went through the shapes menu earlier, so that contains all of your different options for adding shapes to your Lucidchart. Finally, the last one on the end, it looks like a pencil, and this is our freeform tool, and what this does is it auto recognizes things that you draw on your Lucidchart. And this hasn't been working exactly right for me. There it did, because of the application that I'm using to project my iPad onto the computer and record these videos, but it does work very well when I'm not doing the recording. So there are a number of different things that you can draw that it will recognize. So I just did draw a circle. Let me draw a square. We have that square that it recognizes. It also recognizes a shape that's called an actor, which looks like a stick figure. Let's see if it recognizes it. Yeah, there it goes. So this is a really neat way that you can add shapes in by drawing rather than pulling them from the shape menu. You can also draw connecting lines between shapes just using your finger. Oh, that one I'm going to undo. That was supposed to be a line, not a new square. So anyway, it's a little bit clunky right now on my iPad because I am using that other software. You guys won't have the same issues when you're working on your iPad. So the auto recognition mode, the free draw mode, is that pencil over on the right hand side. There's some additional settings within that free draw mode that you can look through, and they're up here underneath your gear, as well as your touch and drag to draw a rectangle option. So you have those different opportunities, and then the little wand, it looks like a wand, it's actually a line. That's the touch and drag to draw a line option, so you can see how that works too. In order to get back to your kind of normal mode, the non-free draw mode, you just simply click the done button over on the right hand side. And that puts us back into our original mode.